Welcome to Live with Miami's Community News, South Florida's #1 source for local stories. I'm Michael Miller, bringing people together and sharing the voices, events, and connections that shape our community.
Cheers, guys. Fellas.
Very true.
I'm all in to be the Miami-Dade County mayor.
That event. Tell everybody about it. What's next? What do we have to do?
Hey, thanks for joining in. I'm Michael Miller. I'm here with Commissioner of the City of South Miami, Lisa Bonich. Thank you for being here, Commissioner.
Thanks for having me. It's good to
And
be
you
back.
know, you're always so much fun, all right? Always from the get-go. You've been in office now 3 years, and before that, you were campaigning for a year or so, all right?
Yeah.
So you made some commitments in 2023. Oh,
Ooh.
yes, I think
Yeah.
2023 or whatever year it was, all right? And one of the things I noticed about it is about helping the residents of South Miami. Let's address that issue, how you and your colleagues have made life for the residents. We'll talk about residents first, people that are here in South Miami, whether they're voters or not, how you've improved their lives. So let's hear it.
You know, some would say they don't feel improved right now, but septic to sewer over by Dante Facel, big, huge deal because we got to do it. It's a dirty job. I think if you live there through it, it's a nightmare, but maybe they're seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. So we've got that. We have applied and are applying for grants all the time. As a matter of fact, I just got a list from our city manager that's like, this is how many grants we have. These are active. So we're looking always for ways to save our money, or at least I am, right? We are doing the investment in the downtown area in the SOMI district to see how we do placemaking and better that area so that we can attract more, bigger, better, whatever you want to say, whichever word you want, retail in that area and support the people that are there because they're really, I don't want to say struggling, but we keep having to turn our focus there because with Sunset Place, you know, moving along, thankfully they're moving along. It tends to leave a bit of a dip in there, and it's been a while now. So we keep trying to find ways to address that, whether it's, you know, doing social media with them, helping them with different events all the time, like Second Saturdays and the craziness of Halloween and all of that. And we've also had to switch gears with our seniors, where they used to have programs that were funded by AARP and the county and the like. We're seeing a shift there where those funds are not existing.
That's a cough.
And well, there you go. Where those funds have kind of migrated away and we've had to take over. We are bettering tons of parks and it's like on a rotation. So we're going to continue to improve them all over the city. So when you look, it looks like, you know, we're taking baby steps, but they're actually really big steps when you look at a city our size. So that's just kind of a snapshot.
Let's talk about on the Shops of Sunset. It's been through a few iterations, but this time it looks like it's for real.
I'm with you this time. You know, this time I know it's for real. Donna Summer said it best. They're making moves on their side. We also, in trying to help the city as a whole, we're bringing back, hopefully, the CRA. It should be now at the county so that we can redirect funds in that area. So you've got, you know, Marshall Williamson area and then some so that we can capture that as well.
So I noticed it ended again right on 62nd Avenue, essentially on the east side.
Yes.
I'm sorry, Emily. Could you give me some water, please? Thank you. That's the first time I've ever asked for that, but I figured got me all choked up. Lisa.
You see, I make people cry all the time.
So Shops of Sunset, what's on the table? It's been approved.
Yes.
By this commission.
If I'm not mistaken, on their side, they're running through all kinds of plans and, you know, different ways of looking at infrastructure and what they want it to be. I'm hopeful we'll hear something soon.
So there's going to be apartments there, and there's going to be a hotel there. You're going to have those people walking out on the streets
From
on
your
Sunset
mouth
Drive.
to God's ear.
Yes, and long time in coming. When that happens with all those people will benefit from there, and it will finally be a town center that's there. And what makes a place is a focus in a town or a village that people can go and congregate. And so we're really looking forward to that.
You know what I think is very interesting? You've got Vox and now Vox 2 or whatever they call it. You've got more of that student housing there. I would tell everyone, drive by there, walk by there. There are people walking around in that area all the time where you wouldn't have seen that 5 years ago.
Yes.
You see it now, and they're crossing over to, downtown, the downtown area. They're all over the place. And so when people say, oh, development is bad, students, maybe not our first choice, or whatever it is that people are saying, it's working.
When I go to the post office occasionally. By the way, thank you, U.S. government, for finally mowing it.
I can't with you right now.
Oh, but
They're listening, so thank you, U.S.
I
government.
was getting ready. I said, I'm going to go take some. It was an embarrassment, but anyway, so they cleaned it up. One guy was out there by himself doing it. So when I go there, all the people that are across the street in the Vox building over there, all different sizes, all different shapes, dogs, no dogs, kitty cats, and you see them walking around. It's a real thrill because it wasn't 10 years ago. No, don't go there. And now with the what do they call it? The underline.
Yeah.
And you think, okay, for the people to know, it's a linear park, goes from essentially downtown all the way to Dateland. And so when my father used to run 30 years ago underneath the metro, I said, oh, that's really dangerous. And over the period of time, it's changed.
It's changing. Lots of things are changing.
Yes. And let's talk a little bit about across from Casa Cuba, new building went up over there. Pretty tall, but you know what? There's going to be hundreds of people a day that are going to go to that building and to the grocery store that's going to be in there. I'm not sure the configuration, where all those people are going to wind up hearing about South Miami and coming there and going shopping there and going to the restaurants. In the restaurant business, it's tough right now, but in a couple of years, it's going to certainly be better. And then the Sunset Tavern in Deli Lane, that property was sold.
Yep, by the same people who have the building in front of Casa Cuba. It's them.
I understand the family is keeping the original building, and I looked at that lineage. So there's Harvey Amster, who we all knew. So the woman he married, their parents, so one of their parents gave him that original building.
Huh.
So the Amster seniors had it, gave it to Amster's junior. Everybody sort of died in there. The husband had a couple children. So the children had decided we want to keep the building. So that's where Deli Lane is going to be moving.
Yep.
I guess in a year or so, they're going to start working on it, maybe 2 years.
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, you think it's farther down?
I don't know if it's farther down. I feel like everything's like tomorrow.
Oh, it might be sooner than that.
I worry about how that's going to look while it's happening, but I think,
And that's going to be
good.
an apartment building there as
Yep.
well. And so I understand there was, across from the City Hall, the old Bank United property.
Did you
Yeah, I saw the
see?
trucks out there. Tell us what's going to be going on
It's
there.
actually the most, and don't ask me what the numbers are because I have no clue, but it is the most dense apartment building, people-wise, in the entire city. And it was one of those that got approved right as I came in. And I thought, that's never going to happen. That's never going to happen. It's happening.
Yep.
And
That's a pretty big piece of property.
it's a big piece of property, and it's going to be a lot of people. And thankfully, we're going to have a mix of somewhat, I guess, affordable housing, the 120 AMI, a certain number of them in that building, and then, general market rate. But I'm excited to see, how that's going to look when it's done.
And I look from a political point, I look at it, go, that's going to change the voting demographics a bunch. Maybe not the first year or two, but at some point down the road, all of a sudden, instead of how many people voted in the last election, more or less?
Oh God, I want to tell you, like 5,000 people.
Yeah, it's
it's a relatively small number.
And so, anyway, we're all, for people on this side of US 1 and this side of Sunset, as Reverend Green used to say, the north side of Sunset and the west side of US 1, that meant this part where we're at, finally, after X years, all right, it's finally being dramatically improved. and there's new related, and the county put up this beautiful building.
It's
It is so
amazing.
significant when you look at it, and it's like I drive every weekend when there's not much traffic. I drive there. Sometimes I just sit there and look at what's possible in
Yeah.
Miami-Dade County.
And can I tell you, like, hats off to Albert Milo and Andrew Velo and their team, because they made a commitment, I think, both to the county and to us, and they're doing it. They're actually doing it. Go
Wow.
figure. People make a promise and they do it. And what I find even more interesting than that is they have like a certain standard of, behavior, cleanliness, this, that. They have like this whole thing going on in their buildings. You either meet it or you're gone, regardless of whether you're part of the affordable housing or a regular renter or whatever you want. They all have to follow, everybody has to follow the same rules. And when you don't, you're out. And I don't think that people in general hold others to the standard that they set. It's so easy to say, oh, we're going to let it slide for whatever reason. Oh, we're going to let it go. They're not doing that. And I think that that's the reason that you're seeing the success that you are with them, because they not only build these beautiful things, they make everyone who lives there be invested in keeping it that way.
Well, it shows up, and it's been probably occupied for 6 months, I
Yeah,
think.
probably.
And it's like significant directly across the street. There's another building that's going up. Tell us what's going to be in that.
It's actually the second phase of Somi Park.
Mhm.
It's going to have more, significantly more apartments than you see there. There's going to be more of that townhouse in the back area. I believe that Somi is moving into there. Somi has a preschool in the bottom of the existing building now. I think they're taking up some of that area in the newer building as well. And so I think that building in particular is going to be transformative in that area.
And so you have the current school. So then directly across the street, meaning 40 feet over,
Yeah.
will be and then what's going to be the height of that building?
Oh, I don't know, because it started at 7, and then voila, it changed, and I think it's 11.
All right. So one of the things we recognize, Dade County as well as all throughout the world, things change.
All the time.
And that's probably been a discussion over there for 15 years. And then finally, whatever commission it was from downtown, and they said, listen, we got to push this through. And I know the last city South Miami commission, maybe it was one before, was sort of fighting it. But look what a difference it's made, right?
Mhm.
And people feel good about now what used to be the worst part of South Miami. People were afraid to go over there. Now we got all the kids running around, right? And it's really significant. Tell us what's going to happen with the city owns a piece of property behind the post office, the old inspection
Yep.
station site. Right?
Yes.
Sort of goes from one side of the street to the other.
It does. And that, I think, is really, really, really cool. Contrary to popular belief, believe it or not, yes, it's me. I began bugging everyone about what true affordable housing means. I don't care what it means. And I know this makes me maybe not the best person, and I'm okay with that. I don't care what it means for other people in other places. I just care what it means for us.
Yes.
And when we're talking about us, 120% of AMI, give me a break. That's almost market rate. Like, if you're a teacher, a nurse, a fireman, a policeman, if you're any of the jobs that I feel we truly, truly need, you can't afford that. That's a joke. And so I kept harping on it, and then we put it in a certain way, shape, or form, and I'm extremely thankful because the rest of the commission is really for it. They were there for it. And then Commissioner Danny Rodriguez started having conversations, obviously separate from me, and brought me in via Sunshine Meeting when he had the idea a little bit more set in his brain. Steve Gaye, another commissioner, was also in that meeting. And we talked about, like, okay, what does it really mean for us? And then Danny took the ball and ran with it. And the result is that we are now talking with a developer to develop one half, if not all of that, to make it true affordable housing. Not a mix of this, that, and the other, but a better mix for our city. because you can say if we have 100 units, we want 10 of them to be affordable. If we've got 100 units, we want 8 of them. Well, I don't know that that's the best way to go about it. And as a city, we were like, let's put our money where our mouth is, because people love to talk garbage, but they rarely get things done.
Alonzo Mourning and his buddies put up some money, and they had true affordable housing starting in $500-$600 to $1,100 or $1,200. And to your point, right? If we want people to become teachers and become firemen and these first responders, we have to make it easier for them to enjoy their lives.
Mm-hmm.
And I think it's the responsibility of government to make that happen when you can. So hats off to you, for doing that.
But I think that it really is a team effort for us. And, it can start with one person, 2 people, 3 people, but it takes 5 of us to make it actually happen.
This commission has been transformative, and it truly. And again, on the weekends when the roads are quiet, I look around and say, look how magnificent it is. And then I look how beautiful the building is from Casa Cuba, and I'm across from there. I'm going, the colors are beautiful. The sidewalks are beautiful. They take care of stuff there. Now we have a piece of property called the J.R. Lee School,
Yep.
which is a pretty big piece of property.
It is. It's deceiving how big it is.
Yes. And that used to be a regular school, and it was the last chance school that we used to say that, sadly enough, that's where the kids that were like acting out in class, that's where they went. And if they failed out of there, I don't know what happened.
Hello, it was the school every parent threatened their child with.
Is that right?
Hello, yes. Every human on earth that knew that school existed would be like, oh yeah, you want to be bad? I'm going to go to JRE. And we'd be like, no.
We used to sit out front and watch the kids run down the street. I'd call the cops.
Oh
hey, another one
gosh.
escaped. All right.
Oh my goodness. And you know what? When you think about it in retrospect, you're like, thank God somebody had that idea.
Yes.
Because if not, where would those kids have gone?
Yes. So it's not been a school for a long time, right? It's probably 65, 70 years old. And it's one of those old schools. I keep hearing these conversations about something happening over there. It's not owned by the city. The school board owns it, right?
Nope.
So any recent public conversations?
I haven't had a conversation with anybody about any of that, except I hear the same thing you hear.
Okay.
That, they want to make it housing for employees of the school system. I don't know what that's going to look like or when it's going to happen.
We know that the school system is about to get right-sided, right? Because there's plenty of schools that only have a third of the population they did 5 years ago. And it's just going to continue like that as more and more charter schools, more and more private schools are here. And the population for the students, for the public schools, is not increasing. Actually, it's sort of decreased. One of the schools used to have 2,100 people. They got 600 kids at it now. Imagine what it must be like for these kids walking down the hallway. That classroom is closed, and now how depressing is that? And then who wants to subject their children to that? They want to be in vibrant places. Don't you care about me, Mom? Don't you give me a place to where there are people there?
And it's funny that you say that, because my kids went to public school, charter school, and private school, and all of them were amazing for different reasons for my children. And I think more parents need to look at what that mix looks like versus send your kids to private school, K through 12. I tell you what, my kids learned a lot.
And seeing the difference in each one of them.
Oh yeah, huge difference.
A while back, we took our kids to Las Vegas. So one night we went to the old Las Vegas. Okay. Next night we went to the 5-star. Okay. Where do you want to be?
Yep.
As you did. So congrats on that. All right. So what is the city of South Miami going to do? Because that's what they all want to know. What are you going to do for me, not me, but me, the private citizen,
Sure.
all right, that's somewhat involved in politics, whether they vote or not, but they care about their neighborhood. What can you tell them that's coming?
Okay. First, I want to say, pay attention, people. Pay attention, South Miami. You're letting an extremely small group of people make decisions for 12,000 people. So I say, get involved, pay attention, listen to a meeting, email us, just open your eyes. That's it. When it comes to what are we doing for you, right now we're doing a landscaping study and a tree study for the entire city, because we've lost a lot of canopy in the city, and we're trying to figure out ways and places to increase canopy. So that's happening right now. When that's done, then between our money and hopefully fishing for grants and what have you, we'll be able to start beautifying the city so that we don't end up with one circle over here having, one big tree. Well, big is subjective, a little tree like the one behind your head pretending it's big. And, then a red flower here and another thing over here, things that don't make any sense. We're going to make our city cohesive when it comes to landscaping. That is the goal. Number 2, people might not realize it, but we are constantly looking at and have done a study and have earmarked all of our streets, every single street and sidewalk in the entire city. And now everything is on a rotation of when it will get repaired, when it will get updated, where things are. So all of us, not just somebody who lives in a prettier neighborhood than somebody else, all of us can have the same kind of streets. Because when I was campaigning, and not for nothing, but I was on 63 and 41 on my scooter, it was a different experience than maybe going down my street, which is off of Miller and 67. 10 blocks, 12 blocks, big difference. Not fair, not right. They pay taxes, we pay taxes. Everybody deserves the same thing.
How did you and your team get to that place of recognizing that disparity and that this commission needed to do something?
I think that we all already came in with it because most of us did a heck of a lot of walking. And this city is really, really good at saying there's a pothole there. We're gonna, cap it or what have you. But somebody has to call. And I think people don't realize that. They have a See, Click, Fix. It's an app that exists for the city. If you see a broken sidewalk, take a picture, send it in. Public Works will go and fix it. But we needed to have something cumulative and something that allowed us to plan properly, because I say we came in and we were so far behind, we thought we were first, and none of us was happy with that. We all wanted our city to look the best. We want a first-in-class city. And, Chip Iglesias and Samantha Fraga Lopez and our entire team, they have that same mentality. So when everybody's pushing in the same direction, you need a roadmap. You need to know what's going to happen, when, and how you're going to pay for it. And I think Chip and Samantha, all the way, Alex Munoz, Public Works, you're seeing it team by team by team, this push to get it all done. And I think kudos to them, because we might be able to make a throwaway comment or say, hey, I want to do this, but hey, I want to do this. Hey, you know what? I want to be Queen Elizabeth, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen.
For people who've been around for a long time, they look at how productive this team is today. That means elected officials and staff at the city. It used to be squabbling, public squabbling. It was terrible. And they would, the naysayers, whoever they happen to be, they sort of enjoyed provoking and being.
They still do.
And so, and to your point, get involved, all right? Because what people say is important, and words matter. And so they want to show up over there and they can speak, or maybe they don't want to. They can send an email. They can be addressed. You still do. People can still check in on Zoom, right?
Yep.
And they can go to the city website and watch it. You can watch it on your phone, for goodness sake. And I tune in every once in a while. I go, okay, look at that. Isn't it wonderful? And I usually turn off all the other stuff, plug it in, and listen. Yeah, go. So I don't know about what, but go.
Oh,
all right.
My gosh.
All right. And so
we
know that there's some new townhouses that are being proposed pretty soon. They're going to be 32-story, 3,200 square foot townhouses. Asking price is going to be in 2.5.
Where?
Yeah, I'll tell you later.
Oh. Because it seems to be that lots of those are popping up, which I'm really, really, really happy about.
And people nowadays say, oh, yeah, South Miami's gotten really expensive. You know why? Because it's gotten really good, right?
From your mouth. You know what? You said it first.
Yeah, it's true. And the police enforcement's so good that 2 people on staff got tickets on the roundabout back there. So be careful, folks.
Oh, be careful, folks. I've gotten tickets, and my thing says do not ticket for parking meters and stuff, and I'm still like, they love it.
And we see whoever 10 years ago said, let's start paying attention. And one of the complaints back then was, how come they're all in the same neighborhood? All right. And that's what was happening. A lot of attention was being paid in a given neighborhood. And we see that things are paying off because when not too far from here, that area was ignored for so long, and it's pretty much caught up, right? And so we're really pleased with that. Let's talk a little bit about Progress Lane and Commerce Lane. That's our industrial park area where there are a lot of car repair shops there. But it's sort of it seems to be, I don't know if there are any more of those, but there seem to be more other type of warehouse type of businesses that are there. And I was over there the other day, and the city said, you can't keep parking these cars out on the street like you're doing it. And on the weekends, it's like, wow. In the old days, they would just be the old cars without any tires sitting out there. And that improved the whole neighborhood.
Of course.
Yes.
You can't do things just because you feel like it. I mean, there's law and order for a reason.
Okay, so this is now almost Thanksgiving, all right? We have 4 weeks, 3.5 weeks to Thanksgiving. Typically, the city has had a turkey giveaway. The city going to be doing that this year?
Yep, it's going to be same as always at the community center.
And that's going to be on
Blah, 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 that day.
before Thanksgiving.
Yes, before Thanksgiving. Look on the website. I'm sure it'll show up.
Oh, and the city hired a social media person, right?
We are so lucky. We have a social media person. We have a downtown ambassador. Her name is Evelyn. She's all over the SOMI district, helping and, just doing everything she can to make the city better. We've got PR people. We're staffed up.
Yeah. And that makes a difference, not just to the business people, but when everybody's looking and they see the city of South Miami on Instagram, I think that I saw somebody at some park showing it around. All that stuff is pretty nifty to be able to do that. It really takes a lot of insight for somebody, Chip, over the age of 50, all right, and to say, we need to do something to be able to connect. And the connection's been made. Right?
And they're amazing. And they're just, forget that they're amazing people. They're amazing at their job and they love their job. And I think when you love your job, like you don't work a day in your life, they really are making such a huge difference.
And one of the things that we recognize about governments, I think about what happened over by Big Cheese. That was the corner right there. And there was an alleyway that went from 67th Avenue to whatever avenue on the other side. So the county went and they repaved it. It was beautiful. Within a year, a new warehouse goes up on the other side, beautiful black, gray, white building. And then within a year after that, 10 or so townhouses went up.
Yep.
I don't know, 1 million, 2, whatever it is.
Super nice.
Yes. And that's because government said, let's do that infrastructure to make people feel better. So can we look down the road and are there some infrastructure issues that the city's going to address to where the citizens go, this is my city, I'm glad we're doing this?
Well, I think that with us, it's not any one big thing. I think there are so many little things going on, like I had mentioned, the landscaping, the roads, the placemaking study for our downtown area, changing of the building code to make it friendlier to actually want to do something. Right now, we're making changes in the building stuff for homes with the help, of people who are saying, hey, this doesn't make sense. How about we do this? And our team is going, yeah, that makes sense. Instead of just saying no all the time and being anti-helpful or just being passive, because in my opinion, when you're passive, you're not helpful. You're just there. And so we're making small changes all the time so that you can do what you want at your house, at your business, in a way that makes sense for everybody. And so while I don't think we're doing anything, well, some people might call it transformative. I don't. I say when you're doing tweaks to make things better for your citizens, all you're doing is your job. It's what you're supposed to be doing.
And speaking of jobs, what about City Hall property? Why don't you share with us the latest public thing that you can share?
Well, that is a property that has moved this way, that way, the other way, the buildings, because we have a police station and our police station has very particular needs. You can't take a person who's been arrested and walk them around wherever you want to try and get to where you need to be. And so there's been a lot of tweaks in the plan for that property. And right now we're trying to see, okay, where are we going to end up money-wise? Can we do it? Because at the end of the day, the citizens of the city said, yes, we'll let you extend the lease from 50 years to 99 years to try to make this work. But it's not a try to make this work at any cost. It has to be a cost that the city can bear. And we'll have to go out, to bond for it. So how do you play that game of getting what you want and what you need, but while you can afford it? Because it's only a deal if you can afford it, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I know that we flipped. We know it wasn't my idea. I just went, great idea. We flipped it so that the open space, the park space, butts up to the underline, and it's a pretty significant amount of space. So I'm hopeful it all works out. The numbers have to pencil, and I guess that's where we are right now.
And if something was going to happen, when might it start?
Oh, God, I would say yesterday, because God only knows we need it. I mean, our city hall, it stinks. There's not even a nice way to say it. It's not historic. It's just old, and it smells like mold.
Years ago, when I think Charles Skur was city manager, I think it was him, he came out with a report about City Hall, and it's talked about that. And I said, if I was working in City Hall, I would go to my doctor right now, all right, and go and file suit, because its own findings back then said, hey, there's a problem. The building was sick back then.
Yeah,
and I don't know if they fixed it.
I can tell you it's gone through a bunch of different things, but putting lipstick on a pig is still putting lipstick on a pig, right?
Yeah.
I mean.
So, and again, so the police station's been there for a zillion years. In the new building, it'll be connected to City Hall.
Yes, it'll be you'll have a civic building which will house us, the library, and the police department. And then you'll have 2 other towers which will be retail and apartments.
So more people coming, and the older people say, oh, we don't want to. Yes, this is almost, this 2025.
You know what? Everybody is like, oh, Miami's a great place. People, everybody loves the good part about having more people in Miami, right? You've got better restaurants. You've got better places to live. You've got more, bigger, better, whatever it is. But you can't say you're for, people coming from other countries, people coming from other states, people being born, and then turn around and say, oh, yeah, but not here.
Right.
Like, what are we going to do? Wear them like hats? They have to live somewhere.
Yes. So, again, I'm so proud of our city, finally, all right?
Finally?
And years ago, when Grant and I made some decisions about where we wanted to be, South Miami was one of the places. And I said, you know what we like about here? If I call the police in 45 seconds, they'll be here.
Yep, whether you want them or not.
If you need to get to a hospital, there's 2 right down the street from it. Those are big parts of that. We've got the private schools that are popping up all over. We have downtown South Miami, which in the next 5 years is going to be really hot, really very hot. So we're very happy. And by the way, we do a lot of events at Casa Cuba. We have one coming up on
with
Thursday.
FIU.
All right, yes, there we go. And Madam President Nunez is going to be our guest speaker, along with the dean of the medical school. So we invite you to that. Just show up, and we should have.
I will be there. My husband has talked about it every single.
Is that
day.
right?
Oh my goodness! What today is I think he's talking about it since Thursday. He's like, FIU is going to be at Casa Cuba. Hey, did you know FIU is going to be at Casa Cuba? And I said, you realize I didn't go to FIU? And he said, yeah, but I'm telling you, FIU is going to be at Casa Cuba.
Anyway, so we have a great relationship with them over there. And Commissioner, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you. It's my pleasure.
And you have a new campaign probably coming up. And I know you're in this sort of like space where you go, do I want to continue serving? And as long as you feel happy and doing it, that you have something to give to people, we hope you stick around.
I love our residents. They're my favorite part of the job.
Okay. And I'm sure there's some other people that you love, and I'd like you to talk to right there in that camera right over there. All right, can you put the camera on her?
The people I love.
There you go, right there. Look right in that camera.
You know what? The people I love my husband, Manny Alonso. He's my favorite person in the whole world. And then I love my kids, Manny and Adriana Alonso, or as my son likes to be referred to, Sir Manny Alonso. He's silly. But you know what? I love our residents. I think there's nothing better than someone from South Miami. We love each other. We care for each other. We show up for each other. That's the most important part, showing up.
Wonderful. And Emily, would you put the camera on yourself? Want to say hi to some people? That's Emily over there.
Hi, Emily.
Recent FIU graduate. And then also, can you put that overhead camera onto Priscilla over there?
Unsuspecting Priscilla.
There we go. Look at it. It's going over. All right. Slow. There we go. Pretty soon.
Holy moly.
Hey, Priscilla, look up. Where are you? Coming up.
Oh, you're going to show up
There
on
you
TV?
go, right there. That's Priscilla right there. Handles social media for us. These are two up and rising stars right here. And so,
That's
wonderful.
awesome.
Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
And let's look in this camera over there. Can you put the middle camera on?
Oh, boy.
There we go. Folks, first of all, thank you for joining us. Second, Grin and I now subscribe to the Disney rule, which is when you hug someone, don't stop until they do. Have a great day. And thanks for joining us.
I love that.